My goal is to share a different perspective of love songs. Define the EP. It was released in 2011, and it is a 4-track EP in which I pretty much completed the whole process. It was a very short process. I challenged myself to complete it in 4 days. I was producing and writing 1 song a day, and the inspiration behind it came from the fact that I really couldn't sleep and I wanted to be productive. And what better way as a musician than to create music at that time when you can't sleep. It was also inspired by a lot of dreams and revelations I had. I just had gotten back from living in Greece for 4 months, and it was a transitional period for me. Being in a place where I didn't know the language, being in a place where, people who look like me wasn't the most common, all these different things, and then it was a very exploratory kind of situation as well in terms of myself. And I came back with all of that. I came back with all the dreams. I came back with all the realizations and the revelations. And I think it added to my not being asleep because I was trying to process everything. So the way I used that time, or the way I got all of that out, was to create the EP. Majority of the music on my EP, or on both EPs, my last project as well as my upcoming project, have been written and produced solely by me. Which and the inspiration behind that is just, really wanting to make sure I convey it in the way that I really want to. I'm definitely open to collaborations, and I love when I meet people who can actually help me actually manifest my vision. But most of the songs, all of the songs are written and produced by me. My creative process, I would say, is pretty, in terms of writing, I usually, an idea or a concept comes up, like, for example, riding in the car on Highway 85. What does that make me feel? Whether that, a concept or a catchy hook comes to mind, and I kind of elaborate on that. And that's kind of been my process for the most part. Since I've been writing, it's kind of been my process. Catchy hook that I come up with, or just an idea that I feel hasn't been talked about a lot in a lot of music. So I'll, elaborate on that. And then I'll move on to the production, in which I start figuring out chords. I start playing around on the piano and laying down chords, recording my chords and everything, laying them down, laying those tracks down, and then from there, just adding sounds and different like that. I do whichever one comes to me. Whichever one comes to me, I like to make it so it's very free flowing. So if music comes first, I go with that. If lyrics come first, I go with that. So it really varies depending on what my motivation is. If I want to work on production this time, I'm going to probably get to the piano first. If I want to work on lyrics this time, I'm probably going to get my pencil and pad first. So it really depends on how I'm feeling, as well as the flow of creativity, what sparks and what comes up first. My upcoming EP, which is set to release Friday, March 25th of this year, is called Caution Love. And it's pretty much a journey or a love story between the heart and the mind. When it comes down to writing about love and speaking about love in terms of my songs, I tend to be pretty private about it. I don't write a lot about love songs, so for this EP, I'm actually getting more personal in terms of how I feel about love, what I would like to see in my future in terms of love, when it comes down to loving myself, loving the world, loving the people in it, as well as transitioning from situations where I felt love didn't work out. So it's really a journey through all of those. It's a very personal journey through all of those things, and hopefully it inspires others, because I'm raising the questions of, do you love yourself enough to love someone else? You know, we very rarely ask ourselves that question. We tend to look on the outside, but it really, everything comes from the inside in terms of creating happiness, creating environments where love is flourishing. That's something that we can manifest in ourselves. So, Caution Love, Love Story, details all of that. And yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Yeah, exactly.
It's only 18 hours.
Exactly. That's what I was like. Part of me was like, okay. And I was like,
It's not in focus.
focus now.
Focus off of self. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna break down.